Hi there. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as turn on the notification right now. We've got the Secretary General of BAM, Datuk Kenny Goh. Hi there, welcome to another edition of the RSS with HD with myself, Rashid Salleh, as well as Haresh Deol with 2213. See, I knew I had to mention that once at least. This is actually our 30th episode, so we're very, very happy to have reached the big 3-0. Of course, we're going to keep on going, but this is a very special edition because we've got someone who both of us have had to deal with over the years and has been quite a stalwart in the badminton world, especially here in Malaysia. So let's welcome him on. Let's welcome the Secretary General of Badminton Association of Malaysia, Datuk Kenny Goh. Of course, you said, don't call me Datuk because, of course, we've known you for quite a while now. But,
yes,
formalities are formalities, but I'm just going to call you Kenny, so it'll be easier for me. But
that would be great. That would be great. And I have to say this, I actually don't like to appear in any program, but I'm doing this purely because of Harish, okay?
Yes, that's right.
Of Harish.
I love it.
And it comes with a prize. Harish owe me happy hour.
Hey! All right.
Oi, that shouldn't be said on air.
No, that's okay. Okay, we're all adults
sorry,
here.
I can't say that, is it? Okay.
Can say it. We're
Harish
all
owe me
adults here.
Starbucks. Harish owe me Starbucks.
There's no happy hour in Starbucks. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys carry on. See you.
Okay, but no, Rashid. Before you go, here's the thing. All this while, we could have happy hour at 5 p.m. But
Yes.
since he decided to join BAM, that's quite impossible these days, huh, Kenny?
Well, everything comes with a price, okay?
It's okay. The office is quite near all those, those happy hour places anyway. So anyway,
All right.
I will remove myself.
Datuk Kenny, thank you so very much for joining us on the show. Now, let's dive into the topic, badminton.
Okay.
And the players have resumed training. Strict SOPs are in place. In fact, the badminton players were among the very few who were involved in the Road to Tokyo program, and they started training ahead of the other athletes. How are they adjusting and coping to this new thing called the new normal?
Okay, Harish, before I actually talk about how the players are adjusting to the new norms, let me just say that we have to put a lot of planning, and also we have to put a lot of system in place before asking these players to come back. So we actually have 4 stages of players coming back. The first stage was the RTT players, which happened in 1st of June, and they were training in ABM for 30 days on what we call the quarantine-based training. That training, that means they could not leave the center at all. They had to stay there, eat, sleep, train, everything at that quarantine-based training. But the advantage of the quarantine-based training is that these players, because they all did the COVID test and then they are living together, so they can actually don't have to practice so much of the physical distancing because they are staying together. All right. Anyway, so that was the first batch, and it ended on 30th of June. Then the second batch, where we took in all the national players back on the 5th of July, including the RTT players, and all have to go through the swab test again. Even the RTT players have to do the swab test, and they had to follow strict SOPs. Before they enter training hall, they have to take their temperature, they have to record their movements, okay? Besides the curfew hour, I was told before this was 11 p.m. and I had to bring down the curfew to 9 p.m. Because we want to discourage players from leaving the ABM unnecessarily. In fact, we don't encourage them to go to public places. Even if they want to eat something, we just encourage them to take away, pack back, or what we call tapao, take back. They are not supposed to eat at the restaurant. So these are the SOPs that we did. And then after that, we took in the junior players on 26th of August. That is the third batch. And 26th of July, the third batch. And finally, we took the last batch, the under 15, recently on 16th of August. So all in all, 4 batches of players that came back, and all of them have to go through the swab test, and they had to quarantine for 24 hours until they get the swab test result out. Then only they can start training. I think so. To answer your earlier question, how are the players coping with such SOPs? I think for the senior players, because they started early, they have the advantage of coming in June and July, early July. So I think they are more or less adapted to it. And anyway, I told them, look, guys, we have to be honest. We have to be very honest with you guys. Unfortunately, if anything happened to you guys, it will be news. Anything happened to other people outside, unfortunately, it's just a statistic. Sometimes, it's just a statistic. Of course, the government has done a great job in in managing the situation. But the difference is, if you guys get it, it will be news. It will probably be in the headline the next day. And this is what we want to avoid. The last thing we want is to have a cluster from BM, a new cluster from. So I told them, look, you guys have no choice but to follow this regulations strictly and these SOPs. So I think the seniors are getting used to it. I think the juniors, with the last batch just came in 16th of August, I think they are still in the process of learning and adjusting.
Kenny, just to ask you a little bit more about what you just mentioned earlier. Now, some of these senior players would have contractual obligations with their sponsors, or they may be involved in some form of commercial or some form of commitment that require them to go out. The inability of going out would equal to loss of additional income. Has that conversation been held between you and the players?
Okay. Honestly, no. We don't have such problem. But just to talk about sponsors, in fact, we have encouraged our sponsors like Victor, Celcom. We have encouraged them to continue to use our players' images or even to appear in the commercial. And I think Celcom has come up with some marketing plan to use our players. But today, with today's technology, there are many ways we can actually do production. Look, for example, we can have this interview without actually physically seeing each other. We can production. The technology is so advanced. We can do all kind of production now cheaply and without seeing face to face.
Okay. Speaking about the players being based there, they have been itching to play competitively because it's been quite a long period where they've not been able to play. And the BAM recently held its Invitational Championship. Now, it was not only an avenue for the players to warm up, but it was also for the coaches to assess the strengths, the fitness levels. Now, you're the coaching and training committee chairman. How would you summarize the Invitational Championship?
Okay. So we managed to bring back the players, right? So they could train, and they could train full time. But the challenge now is, after the training, how do we keep them motivated and competitive? Because there's no tournament. BWF has suspended all their tournaments until as of today is until end of September. There would not be any tournament until end of September. So how do we keep them competitive? So finally we decided, why not we do an internal tournament? All right. And the internal tournament, we decided that it should not be a knockout system, but rather a round robin, so that the players will have more opportunity to play each other. And a round robin will also be a good what you call a good process, where we can see the true strength of the players, because they get to play with every one of their teammates. So I must say that the tournament has been really good, in a sense that we could see there are a lot of competitiveness among the players. Most of them, in fact, all of them are willing to fight until the end. All right, and there is great what you call the what you call the spirit to really fight. Yeah, the competitiveness. All right, so that was good. But I think we do at the same time we do discover some weaknesses.
Such as
some weaknesses. We discover some weaknesses. I think
such as what kind of weaknesses?
Some players. Yeah, I was about to say that. I think some players needed because some of they actually just started training. All right, maybe the round robin was a bit too what you call too strenuous for some of them, because all the matches were stressed into more than an hour. Some matches we expect it to be kind of like a touch. Some of matches we thought it's going to be easy matches, but turned out to be very, very competitive, and it stretches more than an hour. So this has a kind of taking a bit of a toll on the players. But we believe this is an internal tournament, and what happened in this tournament has been good, and it has allowed us to see some of the weaknesses on these players. And as what Chun Han said, I like his word he used, that this tournament has allowed the coaches to see some of the blind spots on the players. So it was really a helpful tournament for us, and also for the coaches and the players. So we are also looking at how we can continue to improve on this. So okay, there are a couple of things that we are looking at. If BWF continue to suspend tournaments, so we have no choice but to continue to do more internal tournaments for these players. So but we need to provide more training. We need to beef them up. We need to give them a strong foundation first. All right, and we must make sure that the competition remain. We have to come out with a schedule. If there is weakness in the scheduling, we probably need to overcome the scheduling. Probably we need to add more days. For example, we did it 5 days. Maybe if need be, we do 6 days, in order to make the scheduling more conducive and more optimum for the players.
Speaking about tournaments, you mentioned earlier that the BWF has suspended all form of tournaments until the end of September. However, the cancellation of these tournaments could have been announced much earlier, so that the state BAs and the member BAs, for example, like Malaysia and Indonesia and so forth and so on, can start planning such internal championships for their players. There seems to be a communication breakdown between BWF and the member states. What are your thoughts on that? Because the decisions seem to be made on a month-to-month basis.
Okay. I can't really comment for BWF in this.
How do they feel like as a member state?
Okay, but what I can say as a member, we are like constantly waiting for an announcement. We are like constantly waiting what's next from BWF. We are there's no way we can get any information. I'm not sure. We can't like call the office, and even though our office and their office are just like round the corner, right? but we can't like call them and ask, hey, will this tournament be suspended or cancelled? We can't do that because they always say, let's wait for the official announcement. All right. So no point for us to call them. But exactly that is what happening. We just have to wait for the official announcement. I think there are some tournaments that is going to happen in October. As of now, we have still not got any prospectus about the tournament that is going to happen in October. But apparently for Thomas and Uber Cup, there seems to be some movement. We've just got information about Thomas and Uber Cup, I think about maybe a week ago, saying that the tournament will proceed. And interestingly, they say that they will make the process much easier for participating teams. That means the participating teams, once they reach Denmark, they don't need to go through a quarantine period. However, all arrivals, they will do a COVID-19 test, and I think they will create what they call a tournament bubble in Denmark. So the players, they will allow the players to move from the hotel to the stadium to the training venue. I think they will create some kind of bubble within these few venues, and they are quite determined and confident that they were able to proceed with the organization of Thomas and Uber Cup with the safety and the well-being of everybody being taken care of.
Will that be the test or to gauge how it works there and to see how we can then host the Malaysia Open?
Okay. It's probably going to be a test for BWF. Probably it's going to be like maybe their so-called pilot kind of project to see how they're going to manage with these new norms. But whether we're going to use this role model for Malaysia Open, I think there's something that we have to really look at it, and probably we need to study, because we must understand that the SOPs and the situation of the COVID-19 differs from every country. Malaysia has a different situation. Denmark has a different situation. So I don't think we can use that model en bloc. But probably there's something we can learn from it. I'm quite certain.
But do you think that we should actually host the Malaysian Open here? I mean, for starters, we have the 14-day quarantine rule, which rightfully should be applied to all, including ministers. But we've seen some leeways here and there.
I saw how you did that. I saw how you did that.
He just have to mention that anyway. Okay,
but it's true. It's true.
Yeah, Haresh. Anyway, I think we are in what we call in uncertain times. We have all of us have never experienced this before. I think most of us are experiencing this for the first time. It's an unprecedented experience. So whether we will do the Malaysia Open, I think we need to monitor the situation. We will work with BWF on this, and we will make this announcement together. Because BWF, to be fair to BWF, they probably, because Malaysia Open is part of the circuit, so they part of the global circuit, they need to look at it globally. But for us in Malaysia, at the moment, we are a bit reluctant to organize it at the moment, is because there are several factors. You see, with the SOPs, with the physical distancing, inevitably the cost of the organization will go up. Okay, that's one. Two, like you mentioned, we are still not sure how does the border control, the regulation is going to be like. As you know, RMCO will end 31st of August. So we still do not know what will happen after 31st of August. We don't know what's the next step the government will do. So I think still a lot of wait and see. Yeah.
but there's also this. Some people are saying that a general election could be called soon. October and November has been the dates, the months, that have been toyed around, and people are talking about it. Do you think that would some way or rather impact BAM's decision to hold the tournament?
Well, Haresh, in life, I always say in life there are two things. One, that is something that is within our control. Okay, there are something that is beyond our control. I think the pandemic, whether government will call for election, or whether the virus will actually take a dip, or the numbers will spurge. All these are beyond our control. We can't control this. All right. So it's difficult for us to say whether how these things gonna affect us. But there are things that are within our control. Okay. Whether you the training of the players, the planning of the player, the planning of their program, these are all within our control. So at the moment, what we are doing is we are focusing more on what is within our control. We continue to plan for the players, training program. We continue to monitor the training and coaching program. Okay, the coaching and training program, we continue to monitor that. And then whether we will organize, and in terms of organizing event, what we can do now, we can plan a lot of internal tournament. As long as BWF continue to suspend their world tours, we will organize more internal tournament. Okay. And as for Malaysia Open, we also will monitor the situation as it goes along.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about things that you can control. Yeah. Okay. The BAM recently hired American Robert Gambardella as their CEO for the Academy Badminton Malaysia.
Yeah.
Now, there's always a debate about the hiring of foreigners. They come with a hefty price tag. We don't really see a transfer of knowledge. I'm not disrespecting Robert, but we are just judging this based on what has happened in the past, and they don't seem to last long. Why? Can you please justify what makes Gambardella so special?
All right, Haresh, good that you asked this. Okay, basically the plan is this. You see, for ABM, Academy Badminton Malaysia, the government has been kind enough, and what they have given us a 2 years support. All right, 2 years support. That means we have rental free from ABM, and then they give us some grant for us to run the ABM for the first 2 years. So after the 2 years, we more or less have to start depending on ourselves, and our development program is not getting smaller. We are getting bigger. Our development program. Now we have our students no more studying in Bukit Jalil Sports School, but they are studying international program in ABM, and that means the sports can only grow, and when the sports grow, it means more expenditure and more programs and many other things that we need to bring in. So we hope that with this new person, the CEO, he will help us to do the planning and also help us to see how we can commercialize and monetizing our programs. All right. Again, the government has also been very helpful. They have also helped us to start a sports science unit in ABM. All right, and which already been started in mid of August. So all this, we have to look at all this. This is the missing link. This not the missing link. These are the various departments, and we hope that Robert will come in and link all these departments and see how they can help BAM to be self-sustained, to be professionally run, and that we can continue to develop more players and continue to have this development of badminton to grow in this country.
So sorry, Kenny, but I don't think that really answered the question. What difference would an American make? I mean, can't Malaysia be that conduit to get all these departments
I think I wouldn't say whether a Malaysian can do it or an American can do it. But what happened was that we had a list of candidates and we have interviewed this all the candidates, and we find this person to be the most suitable to hold this position in ABM. Well, we of course, whoever we hire, we hope that that person will be able to carry out his task and to achieve our objectives. We definitely hope, and I think we are looking. We need to look at it globally. Not to say that Malaysian is not good. I'm sure there are a lot of good Malaysians. All right, but we are looking at the list of candidates, and this is the best candidate that we felt is suitable for the post.
Understood. Okay, Rashid, what would you like to say?
Of course, there's so much I want to add to that, and so many questions. But I think we will probably end up being an hour on the show. I do have one final question.
Yes.
Over the years, obviously, we've been having to obviously interview you over the years. Not like this, but I have one question. Is that you've been looking a lot younger? Since I first met you like 13 years ago. What's your secret?
No, don't wear specs.
Well, no. The thing is, I had if you notice, I can answer most of the question, but actually I have difficulty answering this question because this morning, just before I left for work, my wife actually commented that I look old.
Oh, so interesting.
So I was actually a bit sad actually this morning while driving to work because my wife made that comment before I left for work. But now, Rashid, you seem to say something quite contradicting, So
why? I think because she gets to see you every day. I don't. So I've seen the changes over the years, and I remember. I remember the times you were, when you were stressed out. You glasses or no glasses. I mean, you look most have, but you looked, you seem to have a lot happier demeanor. So it shows on your face. So I mean, of course, the responsibility is higher.
I am not sure whether it's the truth. I'm not sure whether, but probably with age, probably I can handle or manage stress much better. Maybe.
That's you should tell your wife that.
Huh?
Tell her that I said that you look younger. In fact,
all right. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do that immediately when I reach home. But probably because of age, again because of old age, that probably we manage stress better. Maybe.
Well, as you know, age is just a number. So.
Okay.
But anyway, yes.
Rashid, the other thing is that he dropped his specs and he's dyed his hair. So yeah.
Haresh, again, you are not supposed to expose all this, again.
You see,
and if you continue to do this will be the last interview I'm having with you, okay?
You see, notice how I started and he finishes. Now you understand why I want the show.
You guys are like a tag team, Okay.
Well, you know what? Thank you very much. Yes.
That doesn't mean, Haresh, you still owe me that drink, huh?
Yes.
Doesn't mean
happy hour Starbucks.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that I've forgotten, okay?
Rice coffee. Anyway.
Anyway, thank you. Firstly, I'd like to thank
you, gentlemen.
Yes. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Amnig, our apparel sponsor, Amnig, for being part of the show. Also to Datuk Kenny Goh, the Secretary General of Badminton Association of Malaysia, for being with us. You have been watching the RSS with HT. Catch us again for the next edition. See you then. Bye-bye.